Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome back to our YouTube channel once again. And it is my hope and prayer that this video is actually going to find you guys in good health. Personally, I am fine as you can see. Kisumu is also fantastic. The weather today is so nice. And maybe you could also let me know where you are watching the video from. The county or the country in case you are out of the republic. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a story that appeared in the Star newspaper yesterday. I want us to analyze that story. According to the Star, Ruto backs Raila over Uhuru for Africa Union top job. Let me just go through the story verbatim very briefly before we embark on dissecting it. Retired President Uhuru Kenyatta and opposition chief Raila Odinga are reportedly eyeing a top African Union job that is set to fall vacant next year. I want you to underline that word, that set to fall vacant next year, not even now. We are in January and the job is supposed to fall vacant next year and we are already talking about it. Raila and Uhuru, all key luminaries in Azimio, are seeking to replace Musa Faki of Chad as the new Africa Union Commission chairperson. I don't want to dispute the possibility that Raila and Uhuru might want to replace Faki. Let's proceed. There are indications that Uhuru could have accepted to drop his candidature in favor of Raila, who is banking on his international network to get the job. Now, the paper is even suggesting that Uhuru, because this thing will fall vacant in January, next year, that Uhuru is already willing to drop off his candidature for Raila because of Raila's international networks. And it proceeds, but any candidate for the AU top job must be fronted by member state. That's where the catch is. And that's where Ruto now comes in. This means a Raila or Uhuru candidature must have the endorsement of President William Ruto's administration. Let me ask you this simple question. Do you think William Ruto can front Raila Odinga or Uhuru Kenyatta to be the chairperson of Africa Union Commission? Let us just proceed with what the statement is saying. Ruto's fronting of Raila for the continental job would radically shift the country's political landscape, as it would almost amount to a handshake. If that were to happen, that would be handshake. It would also remove Raila from the 2027 presidential race, triggering fresh realignment. Now you get where the story is heading to, because it has left Uhuru, now it's focusing on Raila, and it has now moved to 2027 election. So it proceeds that Africa Union chairperson are required to be neutral in political contest across the continent. The AU Commission chair is a big post that elevates the holder to a near head of state. The office holder is a key player in major international happenings, including elections, conflicts, development, not only in Africa, but globally. Sources said a deal to have Raila replace Faki could have been hammered in July last year that paved way for bipartisan talks. And it's concluding that big international players, including Obasanjo, were involved in mediating the post-election draw between Ruto and Raila. The ODM leader had also mentioned South African President Ramaphosa and Tanzania counterpart Samia Suluhu. Now, I've always told you guys that in politics, nothing happens out of mere coincidence. And that everything in politics is normally well planned, well scripted, and executed to achieve a specific political objective. Nothing in politics just happened for the sake of it. That headline and that story is actually intended to achieve a specific political objective. So in this video, I want us to analyze the story behind the story of that story in the Star. Before I do that, in case you're watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support. Because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, let us dive in. And I want to begin by asking you guys a simple question. Do you think William Ruto, the current president of the Republic of Kenya, can support Raila Odinga, for that matter, or even Uhuru Kenyatta, for the AU job? Do you think he can do that? If you ask me, there is no way William Ruto can do that. Why? Number one, William Ruto found Raila Odinga holding Africa Union job. Raila Odinga was the High Representative for Infrastructure. When he came into office, the first thing he did was to remove Raila from that job. Then he alleged to have appointed Uhuru Kenyatta to mediate some peace processes across Africa. He has really frustrated Uhuru Kenyatta. The fact is, Uhuru Kenyatta is now operating minus the support of Kenyan government. So if it's a matter of supporting Raila or Uhuru for the jobs, if he could remove Raila Odinga from that small job, there is no way he can elevate Raila Odinga in the bigger job. Number two, there is fear of Raila and Uhuru revenge against Ruto. And because of fear, there is no way, and I can assure you, there is no way William Ruto can risk having Raila Odinga or Uhuru Kenyatta to chair Africa Union Commission, because that's going to be a very powerful seat which they can actually use to undermine him. So I believe no way. Number three, that position will grant Raila Odinga more international networks. Of course, Raila Odinga has international networks. But now being the chair of African Union Commission would elevate him to even a higher international networks. Which means if Raila were to decide to support someone, supporting might not necessarily means coming out publicly to campaign. You can have people funding. You can link Kalonzo, for example, to this guy, Chini Amaji, do this. Those international networks, Ruto would not want. If anything, would want Raila to lose all of them. Would want Uhuru to lose all of them, because he understands that even himself, he never became the president of the Republic of Kenya because he wanted, but because the British and American government wanted him. And lastly, there is no way William Ruto can allow Raila Odinga or Uhuru Kenyatta to take up that role because of the fear of resource mobilization. The truth is that position can actually enable anybody to help raise funds for campaigns. So he can't. But what was the objective? Because that's the main thing. What was the objective? Because there's no way someone can just wake up with that kind of a story and plant it as a headline. Number one, the intention is clearly to create tension between Uhuru and Raila. Create division. The truth is, Azimio is still together because of Uhuru. And Uhuru is the strength of Azimio. Raila is the face of Azimio. So if Raila and Uhuru were to part ways because all of them wants to be the chair of AU, they can't agree, then Ruto decides to support Raila. Ruto is supposed to agree to support Raila Odinga for the position. What will happen is that Uhuru is going to rebel. And of course, by that, it will be easier for the mountain to be rallied against Raila Odinga. So that's the thing. The intention is clearly to create tension between Raila and Uhuru. That was the intention of that headline. Number two, Again, if you ask me and look at it critically, someone is out to try and appease the Raila Odinga supporters. That for us, we want to take Raila Odinga to the African Union, which is going to elevate him to almost the level of a head of state. So we want him there as the chairman. Then the government of William Ruto is going to support Raila Odinga to win that. Then the base will relax. They'll say, okay, is there a need for us to go to the street? No need. Is there a need for us to do this? There is no need. Can we now embrace this government? Yes. And why would they do that? The truth is, as we speak today, Kenya Kwanza has lost a lot of support, especially from most of its key support bases. They've lost that support. So they would want a situation where they can get support from traditional Raila Odinga supporters. The truth is, William Ruto's biggest challenge today is Kalonzo Musyoka. Because if Kalonzo Musyoka were to contest with the support of Raila, with the support of Uhuru, then the equation is likely to change. Just the other day, Mike Sonko wished Raila Odinga happy birthday. And in his statement, which was long, he alleged at some point that if Raila had not betrayed him, probably if he had supported Raila, then Raila would have become the president because because this way, he would have managed to at least rally 20,000 votes for Raila Odinga, which is the case. So if Kalonzo were to run, then someone like Sonko supporting. That's the truth. Number 4, it could also be a strategy to try and bait Raila Odinga to go slow on government for a possible support. Because I'm sure after that headline, some people might have gone to Raila Odinga and convinced him to pursue that route, which would mean, therefore, that he's going to de-escalate his political activities across the country. Because by doing that, the government would then be able to push his name. But importantly, the main intention was basically to try and convince Raila Odinga and to persuade his supporters that Raila Odinga should go for the job and therefore pull out of the 2027 presidential race. And if that were to happen, then already they've softened their paths to Azimio supporters. Then Azimio supporters can then say, Ruto, do your best. I don't know what you think. That's my take. Until next time, this is Lee Makwiny. If you watch this video up to this stage and you enjoyed it, and probably you are not yet subscribed, this is the moment for you to just press that subscribe button. It goes a long way in supporting the channel. Thank you guys, and may you have a good day. Bye-bye.